Okay, to start out this hair, you're going to want to use a comb that has a pointy end on it, like this one. It doesn't have to have a metal end, but just a pointy end. You want to start by taking the hair and you're going to go from ear to ear. Make sure you get right at the top of the ear and do the part all the way to the other side on top of the ear. And try to make your section, your partings, look really nice and clean. Then you're going to take the hair that you parted in the front and you're going to do a far right side part. And what that means by far is that it needs to go over your right eyebrow. That's where it's going to part. And then you're just going to take a couple of clips and you're going to clip off those two front areas for now. Okay, and then in the back, you're going to take the hair, and we haven't gotten any of the hair wet yet. So just do all the partings first. We're going to take that hair in the back and we're going to split it in half and take that top section. Make sure your lines again are really crisp. You're going to take that top section and you're going to put that into a hair tie. And basically that's just the crown section. So you're taking that top crown section. Take a hair tie and tie that part back. Now Olivia has super long, thick hair. So if you have long, thick hair, then you may want to get the really large, extra large bobby pins. If you have really thin hair or really short hair, you may want to get a hair piece. And if that's the case, then please give me a call and I will help you get that hair piece for your hair. So we're just going to push that top ponytail forward, and then this bottom ponytail, it's just going to be a low ponytail. Take the rest of the hair, and I'm actually going to start spraying this part down. So spray this all down and get it really nice and slicked. So you want this to be nice and tight. And then put that into a low pony. I had to get down on my hands and knees to get that ponytail in because Olivia's hair is so long. And then pull on that and pull it nice and tight. So you've got those two sections right there. Then let those clips go from the front. And this is where you would think that it would be good to get it wet, but we're not going to. So you're going to take that front section and you're going to take just like maybe 1.5 to 2 inch parting, split that in half, and you're going to do a twist. Make sure that you're only twisting the front piece back. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of hair and I'm adding it to that back piece and flipping it back away from the face. So I'm taking it again. I'm not pulling from the back at all. I'm just pulling from the front. Adding it to it and twisting it. So this is why you want the hair to be dry, because it twists better. The hair doesn't get all clumpy. It just smooths back really nicely. And if your hair is dirty, that's even better. So we're going to keep pulling that back and twisting back until we get the rest of that hair that was over the ear. And then we're just going to keep twisting that all the way. And as you can see, I'm twisting it toward that ponytail in the back. So as you're twisting, twist toward the ponytail, and it almost makes like a C shape. Then I'm just going to take a hair tie and hold that while I do the other side. And the other side is going to be a lot thinner because most of the hair has been parted to the opposite side. So this is just going to be a little tiny, maybe 3, I'll pull it 3 times. So there's my first twist, and then take a piece and add it to that piece and twist. So you're just completely just going backward towards the back of the head. Taking that front piece, adding it, and twist. And that's all the hair there is on that side. So then I'm just going to twist it back and then add it to the other piece and pull out that clip and just put those two together. Now obviously one side is a lot thicker than the other. That's how we want it. We want it to have dimension, and we want one side to kind of be sticking up higher than the other side, almost like an asymmetrical style. This is something that no one's ever used or done on their hair. It's different and it's really cool. It looks really, really pretty when it's all done. And then pull that tight. So it does look different on both sides. Now I'm going to go back in the front, and this is another reason why you do not want this part to be wet. It's because I want to pull that part up just in the front, because I almost want to make it look like your bangs there's kind of a poof in the front, and it's kind of poofing up. It just gives it a little more texture, and it looks kind of cool. So here's where you're going to spray it all down. And we're not finished yet, but I would take the hairspray, and as soon as you're done with the part that we just did, get that hairspray and just start slicking everything perfectly back. Another thing you can do is spray a comb and then smooth it back into the hair. And it works really, really well. It just gets all those flyaways out and pulls everything straight. I'm kind of an oversprayer, but when it comes to drill and dance, I feel like you can't ever spray too much. So now you have these 2 pieces of hair, and all I'm going to do is tie them in knots. Now this is where spraying down those pieces would be great. I'm not doing that with Olivia because her hair is totally straight and all in length. But I would recommend it will be a little bit easier for you to tie if those strands of hair, those ponytails, are wet. So this is where you would want to wet the hair down. Now all I'm doing right now is tying knots one after another all the way down. And depending on how long your hair is, that's how many knots you'll get. And obviously her hair is super, super, super long. So we're just going all the way to the bottom and knotting it. So I went as far as I could, and then I'm just going to put a hair tie at the bottom. Now doing this on yourself, you could seriously just sit there and guess. And you can knot that instead of having it behind you like I'm doing it behind her head. You can pull that on top of your head and knot it so that you could actually see it from the mirror and then put it in the back. And now I'm just pulling out some of those knots, not all the way, but just separating them. It's called pancaking. So I'm pancaking those knots just to make them look a little more substantial. So that's that one. Now I'm just going to let that one go, and I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom ponytail. And again, make sure you get these strands wet, because unless you have perfectly long straight hair, you're going to want to make sure that all the flyaways are in the hair and they're all wetted down, and they're not going to just sprout out everywhere. So we're just going to continue knotting. Okay, so I actually had to pull that last one out. And this, I'm kind of glad this happened, because I want you to understand this. If you knot right over right, or right over left, right over left, right over left, you're going to end up with one side being a lot shorter than the other. So basically what you have to do is you have to go right over left, and then left over right, and then right over left, and left over right. And that way, when you get to the very bottom, both sides of the hair are the same length. So one of my sides was like, I don't know, 5 inches shorter than the other because I didn't do the right over the left, left over right. So you're just going to have to practice that and get it figured out. It's super easy to make that mistake, and it's also super easy to fix that mistake. So I'm actually kind of glad that happened. So there, now we have both of our knotted pieces. Now you're going to take the top piece and you're going to tuck under that tail. And this is so easy, you guys. And then you're just going to bobby pin the crap out of that. And again, if you have the extra large bobby pins, they're thicker and longer. They hold the hair like nobody's business. They're amazing. You could probably, if you have thinner hair, you could put 4 of those in your hair and you'd be done. But on Olivia, it's going to take quite a few. And the thinner ones almost bend out of her head. But I put 4 in there and she's done. Now you're going to take that bottom piece, tuck under that tail, and go right next to the other one and bobby pin it up next to it. We decided not to do your typical bun in the back, which we were going to do at first, because it's just so blasé and it's what everyone does. And we just wanted to do something a little bit different. And this just gives the hair a lot of texture, and it looks really cool and fun, and it looks really hard to do, but it's super easy. So yes, you guys might be cursing my name, but I guarantee you were cursing it more last year because of that braid going down the back of the hair. I know that was really hard. So I promise you this is going to be a lot easier. And if you practice this at least 3 times, you will be set. You'll have it down. And make sure your mom does it on your hair once also, so that if she needs to help you with it, she's prepared and ready to go as well. So now I'm just going back through and taking bobby pins and just making sure that everything is secure. Because as you know, in the drill world, if anything falls out, you're going to be in big trouble. So anywhere Olivia feels like it's feeling a little bit loose, I'm sticking another bobby pin. It's going to be different for each girl. And again, Olivia's hair is so thick that I'm having to use a ton. But that's just what you have to do. Okay, there we go. It's all done. That is the dance routine headpiece, and it looks pretty amazing. I hope that you guys can do this. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call or email or text or whatever you want to do to get a hold of me. I'd be more than happy to help you in any way I possibly can. Thanks for watching.